home of the three-piece combos, pugilism company. This is your boy Reed, BBS, the Blackbird Sugar. Quick hits and tidbits, y'all. Quick hits and tidbits. So, Danny Garcia versus Sean Porter, or maybe you prefer Sean Porter versus Danny Garcia. Whichever way you like it worded and flipped. It's for the vacant WBC welterweight title. It's being penciled in for September 8th at Barclays. The ink isn't dry. In fact, I did say clearly it was being penciled in. So no permanent marker, none of that. This shit is subject to being erased. But for now, it's tentatively set for September 8th at Barclays. The co-main event is slated to be David Benavidez defending his WBC super middleweight title against Anthony Durrell. That's a pretty quality doubleheader. When and where it's played out, September 8th, if that's the doubleheader, hey, do everything in my power to not only be there, but if I'm not actually there in attendance, I for sure will be watching. Make no mistake about it. In other news, WBO has mandated Billy Joe Saunders versus Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. They've got 10 days to reach an agreement, or the bout then goes to purse bids. 10 days or else. These are Andrade and Billy Joe. I mean, they're right there in the mix. No question about it at 160. But they're both on the outside looking in my particular opinion, so to speak. So, like, the entire 160-pound division is held up and awaiting Triple G versus Canelo, too. Sadly, but that is the case. It is what it is. Next in line, you have your Jamal Charlos, your Danny Jacobs, Sergey Derevyanchenko's. They're that next tier of middleweights. And just behind them, bringing up the rear on that world-class elite must be considered in the mix level, is unquestionably Billy Joe Saunders and Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. Now, the press conference, the press tours, the videos, and we'll see things of that sort. That'll be golden. But the outcome itself, the most likely outcome itself, I should say, for Saunders versus Andrade will be boredom. Plain and simple, boredom. It's about styles, man. They both can fight, but they're both counterpunchers by nature. It's just, it's not a good mesh. However, with both of these guys being on the outside looking in, the onus is clearly on each of them to do something outside of what they would normally do to insert themselves into the mix to get to that next tier. The winner of that fight will not only be the WBO middleweight champion, but they'll be in that next tier of guys to fight. So it's a must-win for both of them, which in itself makes it intriguing. Just stylistically, I'm not terribly interested. Jaime Munguia, he'll be facing Liam Smith next weekend, July 21st. We have Regis Rougarou Prograis and his homecoming this coming Saturday, the 14th. We have Manny Pacquiao also. It's a twin bill, so to speak, on ESPN. The Prograis fight will be on ESPN. Pacquiao will be facing Luca Matisse on the ESPN Plus app shortly after the Prograis fight. It's almost like Prograis is the co-main, and then if you have the streaming app for ESPN, you can check out Pacquiao also. He's got Boo Boy training him, his partner Boo Boy that he grew up with, who was there, kind of like spiritual support through his career, but he's not a trainer, dude. It illustrates how serious Pacquiao is taking this stage of his career. And per Freddie Roach, he hadn't even heard from Pacquiao since the loss to Jeff Horn, since they left Australia after that loss. I'll check the fight out, though. I ended up keeping the app. I like some of the videos I get in their catalog, and it's still subject to be canceled, though. Don't let this be a bullshit fight. I'll cancel that shit with the quickness. Beyond that, we got Mikey Garcia, Robert Easter, July 28th. And some of the other podcasters, my podcasting brothers, they're beating that drum for Easter. And Mikey is certainly not helping his case because he's doubling down on the Earl Spence talk for December. If I beat Easter, I want to fight Earl Spence. It's it's like a crackhead fantasy almost. It just makes no sense at all. As I've stated, I'm a big fan of Mikey Garcia. Covered him for the Lipinets fight. Very skillful guy. Talked to him. He respects Earl. Like, I talked to him about Earl Spence, and he expressed his appreciation for that skill level. Like, he didn't even mention Lomachenko. He mentioned Crawford and Spence in terms of guys who were at his level or maybe even arguably above his pound for pound. So to be ambitious enough to want to fight Spence, I get that, but you got to be realistic, man. The writing is on the wall. You're way smaller than this guy. And when both men are skilled, size does matter. It does matter. It's not like Earl Spence is a club fighter. I mean, sure, Mikey, there's 147-pound men Mikey could wipe his ass with, unquestionably. But the Earl Spence thing, but hey, if that's what he wants, man, assuming he gets through Easter, which I think he will, I've never once wavered from my prediction that Mikey will beat him by KO, because he will. But it depends on how you win. And even then, I still wouldn't want to see the fight. But if he's adamant about it, hey, man, you got to let a man do what a man want to do. Simple as that. Anyways, y'all, when all is said and done, there's nothing left to say or do. This is your boy Reed, BBS, from the one and only home of the three-piece combos, Pugilism Company. Peace.